We ride into the courtyard of Westminster Palace. The herald announces our titles and the trumpeters blow a blast of welcome. The standard bearers dip the flags to acknowledge the arrival of Royal Duke and Duchess. My horse stands still as two liveried servants help me down from the saddle, and I rejoin Richard as he waits in a doorway. How can the king silence his brother? George is only repeating what many people think. How can Edward silence them all? Richard puts my hand on his arm and smiles around at the people who throng the gallery that lead to the stable yard. He leads me onwards. Edward can silence George. He's going to give him one last warning that if he goes on, he will charge him with treason. The crime of treason carries a death sentence. I stop still with a shock and feel my head swim. Richard takes my hand. We stand for a moment, hand-clasped, as if to hold each other in this new and terrifying world. We don't notice the passing servants, nor the courtiers hurrying by. Richard looks into my eyes, and once again I know us for the children that we were, who had to make our own destiny in a world we couldn't understand. I believe the Queen has told Edward that she won't feel safe withdrawing to have her child if George is still at large. She's demanded his arrest for her own safety. Edward has to satisfy her, or she won't go into confinement. Tyranny. For once, Richard does not defend his brother. His young face is dark with anxiety. God knows where we are going. God knows where the Queen has taken us. We're the sons of York. Edward saw our sons in the sky. How can we be divided by one woman? We turn into the great hall of Westminster Palace, and Richard raises his hands to acknowledge the cheers and the bows from people gathered in the hall and the gallery to watch the nobility arrive. Do you eat the food? He asks quietly. I shake my head. I never eat the food from the Queen's kitchen, I tell him in a whisper. Not since George warned me. Neither do I, he says.